Well, hey there, Leslie Sansone Williams. I'm coming to you today to start the Unstuck series based on this book by Kimberly Jones. She's a pastor out of Fayetteville, Georgia, and she's wonderful. And so today's day one, and we're calling it Anticipate Your Next. And I'm going to read you from Joshua 3:5, and I would invite you to get your Bible out, go to the Old Testament, look Joshua 3:5 up, or Google it and read this. Then Joshua told the people, "Purify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do great wonders among you." For years after the children of Israel were taken out of Egypt, after I think about 400 plus years there in slavery, and you can read about that in the book of Exodus in the Old Testament. And after oppression over all that time and them wanting to be out of that situation, the Lord rescued them and brought them out with the promise of seeing this promised land that He had for them. And they had wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, and they were saved from that slavery in Egypt, but because of their disobedience and unbelief, many of the generation of Moses' generation did not get to see the promised land, including Moses. So it was the next generation that got to see that promised land. And a whole generation had died and was buried in the wilderness, and the next generation was ready to enter the new land. After Moses died, God chose Joshua to be the next leader. Joshua was about to lead the Israelites across the Jordan River when this verse that you've just read, when this was said to the Israelites, "Purify yourselves, because tomorrow God's going to do great wonders among you." And I wonder, I haven't always lived my life where I was expecting God to do great wonders in my life. And that was lack of trust, lack of belief that He would do great wonders in my life, that He would solve some issues I was facing, and I didn't have to, but I had to trust Him to do it. Joshua knew that if the Israelites did not follow him without question, they would fail in the mission. So that's why he was telling them that. Get ready and be focused and understand that God's got something big that's going to happen. And they should have easily understood the task at hand, because they had watched thousands die because of disobedience while journeying through the wilderness. Remember, God called the Israelites out of Egypt to rescue them and redeem them from slavery. They were to keep their focus on Him, though, which many did not do, and keep themselves separate from the Gentiles. Joshua gave them this direct command in Joshua 3:5 to purify yourselves. So he was telling them, these are your next steps. You better do it. The following day, God did exactly as He had promised. He stopped the fast-flowing waters of the Jordan, and the people crossed over safely. God keeps His promises. Just as God promised the Israelites that He would follow through on what He said He would do, we have His promises of wonders in our lifetime. I remember when I've lost both my adult children and my two daughters and my husband. And I remember when I was dealing with my daughter's estate, and she had a home in Florida, and I am not living in Florida. I'm 10 hours away. And so something developed within the house. As soon as the tenants moved out, she had rented the house to tenants, and then we had it up for sale, and my realtor brought someone over. It was discovered there was a major water leak, and it was bad, and repairs were going to have to be done. And so doing that from 10 hours away is difficult, and my realtor wasn't volunteering to help with that at that point. But God, it was very stressful, beyond stressful. And this was an inheritance. Any profit from the sale of this would be an inheritance for my grandson. And it was important to me. I knew it would be important to my daughter and to my grandson, but there was no solution that I could come up with, and I tried. And the AC unit had to be replaced, and even that wasn't working. That was madness. And so I shed a lot of tears, and I prayed a lot of prayers. And finally, I felt in my spirit, God was asking me, do you trust me, Leslie? And I said, yes, Lord. I'm giving up doing anything, and I trust you, and I know you'll take care of it. And man, did he take care of it. The realtor and her husband made so much money selling houses the summer of 2023, I think it was, that they were able to front the money to pay for any repairs in my daughter's house, and then they received that back when the house sold. And I had to guarantee, though, that I would pay them if the house did not sell, which I did. But this took a lot of weight off me. And the house sold. We had one real offer, and the guy was serious, and we sold it to him. Fantastic. This is all God's doing. And it was like God was saying, watch me and trust me, Leslie. And he's saying that to you too. No matter what you're facing today, give it to him and trust him. So it says in 1 Corinthians 2:9, we have been told that the eye has not seen and the ear has not heard the wonderful things that God has prepared for those who love him. Caleb, one of the 12 spies who was an Israelite, but was a spy along with Joshua, was promised his own mountain in the promised land. And he claimed that mountain when he was 85 years old. He remembered what God had told him 45 years earlier, and he held on to that promise. So, today's the day we walk by faith and not by sight, by only what we see, and it really, really boils down to trusting what God has for you. I hope this was helpful to you. Okay, go to Joshua 3:5 and read through that, and read through 1 Corinthians 2:9. Right, God has a plan and a purpose for you. Read through Jeremiah 29:11, and I'll see you in the next devotional. Take care.